Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Khaosity here, and welcome back to the channel. As we all know, Sonic Frontiers Update 3 is right around the corner. At the time of recording this, we are 20 days away, so we're basically a third of the way there. But with the release of these updates throughout the year of 2023, they've also been adding some quality of life updates to the game as well. Update 1, we were able to disable the power boost cutscene in the Starfall slot machine, and just recently in Update 2, we are now able to disable dramatic camera angles during combat. What was originally a code is now an actual feature within the game. So there's no doubt in my mind that in Update 3 there will also be some other quality of life updates. And that's what this video is about. Some quality of life updates that I would like to see come to Sonic Frontiers in the third update. But before we get into it, if you like the video, drop a like, and if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel. We're on the road to 500, but without any further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Alright, so without wasting any time, the first thing that I would like to see added to Sonic Frontiers is a higher refresh rate / higher frame rate support. Alright, I already know that the game can run at 144. Alright, there's a code that lets you unlock the FPS, and since I got a new GPU that can actually push that kind of frame rate, it looks great. Alright, it looks amazing. It's as simple as it gets. It looks amazing. Since I know that the game can run at such a high frame rate, they just need to add the options for it in the menu or in the settings. It doesn't really get any deeper than that, okay? Immediately moving on to the second thing that I would like to see added to Frontiers, to allow the player to play, their favorite jukebox music over the Guardian themes, okay? I was gonna say over the Titan themes, but to be honest, the Titan themes is fire. Me personally, I'm gonna listen to the Titan themes when I fight the Titans. But in terms of the Guardians around the open zone, it can get honestly pretty annoying when you're just running around listening to your favorite song in the jukebox, and then you just pass a Guardian, and then all of a sudden you just hear their theme overshadow the jukebox. So that would be the next thing I would like to see in an update. It's just add the option to disable the jukebox, not disable the jukebox, but disable Guardian themes, right? Don't get me wrong, the Guardian themes are pretty cool, okay? The Guardian themes are honestly pretty sick, especially Spiders. If you ever listen to the whole theme for Spider, bro, it honestly gives you some Unleashed vibes, okay? However, when I'm in the open zone and I'm enjoying some music out of the jukebox and I want to fight a Guardian, I would kind of want to keep listening to my jukebox music over the Guardian theme. All right, so if they could add an option where we could disable Guardian themes and therefore listen to the jukebox whenever we want, however we want, it would honestly be a big plus for me in my book. But moving on from the jukebox, the third thing that I would like to see added in Update 3 would be the option to disable nighttime challenges or change the time of day. Okay, as we all know, we played through the game ourselves. The nighttime challenges, they sounded cool in theory, but in execution, they're annoying as hell. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, they're annoying as hell. Running around the open zone, completing challenges is good and all, but then you come across a challenge that takes place during the nighttime. So you're like, okay, cool, whatever, I'll just go off and do something else. And then when you go off and do something else, most of the time I completely forget that I was even trying to do that nighttime challenge, and then night rolls around, I'm still doing whatever I'm doing, and then right at the end of nighttime, right as the sun is rising, I pass a nighttime challenge, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I can do this real quick before the sun comes up. I start doing the challenge, and then the challenge just disappears while I'm doing it because the sun has now risen, all right? So adding a feature that would just completely disable the nighttime challenge or change the time of day would be a big help, all right? If I'm honestly being realistic, just disable the nighttime challenges, just get rid of them. There's no point. Changing the time of day would honestly probably be more demanding because that would require some type of rest feature for Sonic, all right? It requires some type of rest feature, which if Sonic wants to rest, I feel like it would require like some type of bonfire of some sort. If you ever played any of the Dark Souls games, when you get a bonfire or a grace, you can rest at it and move forward in the day. But we don't have anything like that in Sonic Frontiers, so just disabling the nighttime challenges as a whole would be a really big help. All right, the fourth thing that I would like to see in Sonic Frontiers Update 3 is not really a quality of life thing, but more so something I hope they do with the gameplay, alright? And that is to make all the characters playable across all islands upon completion, alright? Because as we know, or at least as I know, because I actually looked at the leaks, it only seems like that the playable characters are going to come into the picture on Oranos/Ria. I'm not entirely sure which island it is, but you know, at that point in the game is when we start playing as other characters. So after we complete the game, I hope that they don't limit those characters to those islands, all right? After we beat the game and we get the completion for the game, allow us to play as Amy, Tails, and Knuckles on Kronos, Ares, and Chaos whenever we want to. These new characters, and we know this now, all right, because before we thought they were just going to be like, yeah, it's a new character, but they overall have the same moveset and whatnot. We've already seen the animations, and you know, we've seen the leaks, we've heard the leaks. These characters are going to be distinct in their own way, so only being limited and only being able to play those characters on 2 islands honestly would kind of be a letdown after we beat the game. So being able to play those characters on those islands, you know, allows for different play styles or different ways to play the game at that point. I was hoping, or I kind of am still hoping, that after we do beat the game, we could play the game as Amy, Knuckles, or Tails and play through the entire story as that character. But of course, with doing that, it conflicts with the storyline of the game. I don't really see that happening, but hopefully at least after we beat the game, we can play as any character we want, wherever we want. All right, and hopefully after we beat the game and we explore the islands as the new playable characters, hopefully they give us their own little voice clips, you know, and their thoughts while they were trapped on those islands. It would honestly be really interesting. But now, moving on to the final thing that I would like to see in Update 3 of Sonic Frontiers. And that is, of course, to be able to relive the Titan experiences without having to go into Battle Rush and fighting all the enemies of the island before you get to the Titan, okay? Now, this is something that they could very easily do, all right? They could very easily do this. To put it in simple terms, what they should do is, after you beat an island and you return to the island, you know, just want to explore or whatnot, give us access to the Titan area, okay? Give us access to that, because on Kronos, after you beat the Titan and you come back to it, you can't go into Giganto's arena. The invisible wall is still there. So what I say that they should do is remove the invisible wall, allow us to explore the Ria side of Kronos if we want, but when we go into Giganto's arena, there's like a giant cyberspace portal, all right? Way bigger than the rest of them with the regular levels. A giant cyberspace portal that lets you relive the Titan fight in cyberspace, all right? They have the perfect setup for this, all right? We fight them out in the real world. You can only do that once, but if you want to relive it, go into cyberspace and fight them there. And the thing is, they wouldn't even really have to do this, or at least that process that I said with Kronos on the other islands. On Ares, you can go back into the Titan arena. On Chaos, you can jump down into the Titan arena. There's even springs that bring you back up to the main island if you happen to fall in that hole or that giant pit. So the structure for fighting the Titans in cyberspace is quite literally already there. They just have to add the option for it in the open zone when you play. This to me would honestly make Frontiers a more whole experience, okay? Having to go into a battle rush and fight all the enemies of the island before reaching the Titan at this point is honestly a hassle, okay? A lot of the times I want to fight Giganto, but I got to go through all these little tedious enemies beforehand. Just being able to walk into Giganto's arena, go through a cyberspace portal, and then just fight him there, it would honestly feel like it would make the game feel more whole, in my opinion. So I really think that they should do this. Anyway, that's the 5 things I think that they should add to Frontiers: a higher frame rate, allow the Jukebox to play over Guardian themes, disable the nighttime challenges, playable characters on all the islands, and the ability to relive the Titan experiences in cyberspace. All right, these 5 things overall would make Frontiers feel way more quality than it was upon release. That's gonna be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, and if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you would want to see in Update 3. I'm actually interested to see what you guys have to say. But until next time, peace.